Hello, welcome. My name is Nadeem Sahir. I'm the OmniQuad product manager at Care Tower. I'll be talking you through OmniQuad's Surfwall remote web filtering solution, and we'll be taking a look at the web portal, at the web access policies, the threat filter policies, and the reports dashboard, along with some of the other functionality the solution offers. I'm going to start off by initially talking about the setup process. There are many ways of configuring Surfwall remote. Some of the methods explained on the website allowing you to download an authentication client tool in order to integrate with Active Directory, in order to provide OmniQuad with details of users requesting the web traffic. There's a pass-through authentication plugin for an ISA server or a TMG server that we can also provide you, and you can also proxy chain your on-site ISA with requests that are streamed to an upstream server at OmniQuad. With regards to the policies, there's the web access policy link here. We can see if I click on the link for the web access policy, this will show you the 87 different categories by which OmniQuad filters. Initially, they all come with a green light. However, they run on a traffic light system. So the red ones are blocked for everybody, the green ones are allowed for everyone, and the yellow ones for particular users. You can see them here, alphabetically listed, all the way down to social networking. The solution is Web 2.0 integrated, so we can police and monitor social networking websites. We can allow access to these categories during certain time periods, so before work, during lunch, after work. And you can base these policies on your Active Directory. What we can also do is allow time quotas to end users, so an hour's worth of social networking at any point throughout the day. The minute the end user exceeds that hour, they will then get blocked from accessing that category again. What we can also do for categories that we're blocking, even if I take job sites here as an example and simply click on the edit feature for the category of job sites, you'll then see on the next page that we have functionality to enable temporary exclusions for this category. So historically, if you're blocking the category but there's an end user requiring access to a website within it, we can simply allow a temporary exclusion where a message will be displayed to the individual informing them that it's company policy to block access to the site. However, if they require access, they have to provide a valid reason to do so. They'll be able to do this within the block screen. This request then will be sent to a senior administrator for approval, and the administrator then can apply a 24-hour automatic approval giving access to this end user. The policy is automatically reset after that period lapse, blocking the access to that category again. So it's a very unique way to be able to allow access to categories that you're historically blocking. Within the policies themselves for the category, we have some smart groups that you can see replicating above. We can add for selections that you've created in the past. We can create selections for new groups as well, and simply by selecting any one of these features here. If I click back to the web access policy and scroll to the top of the page, we have a number of links, and these will allow you further functionality. The Business Productivity Profiler link simply allows you to have visibility on the 87 different categories and then nominate the categories that you believe are used for business purposes, non-business purposes, and the categories that are neutral. And this will be more evident when we look at the reports dashboard, because then you'll start seeing the users that are being productive within the network. Clicking back, we have a link for YouTube exclusions, and this is simply allowing you to have exclusions on YouTube. So for streaming of training videos, etc., you can allow access to YouTube videos. Data loss prevention policies, so this is allowing you to restrict content from being uploaded onto file sharing websites, from being forwarded on via email, or even being sent to mobile devices. And this ties in very well with the email filtering solution Surfwall remote. So if you have both email and web, then the data loss prevention is highly increased, and we can provide a very granular functionality on all data being emailed, uploaded, or sent to mobile devices. Bandwidth-based policies is allowing you to restrict how much media can be streamed online. This can be done by users. We can restrict the amount of megabyte of data that is allowed to be streamed, either internal or externally, uploaded or downloaded. So this is further going to free up your bandwidth, allowing you to prevent streaming of high media online at any one time. Time-based policies, so these are those policies I was referring to earlier. Again, allowing end users anything up to 180 minutes worth of browsing. Starting off from 15, you can again edit your categories, edit the users, and then give them those time quotas, allowing them access to those categories through any 24-hour period. Clicking back again once to the main web access policy page, we have a link for exclusions, and these are exceptions to the rule, so allowed sites and block websites. Historically, if you're blocking a category but you're allowing access to a particular site, this is where we'd come in and put that exclusion. And on the flip side of that, if we're blocking websites but allowing certain categories, then again the block sites will allow you to have that functionality. A custom redirect page, once again on the main web access policy page. This is simply a URL which is displayed to an end user if they attempt to access a category or a website which is blocked. This comes as a default, but you can have your own URL displayed to them, informing them of company policy to block that URL or that category. We have a block keywords filter, and this is a 3-tier filter, further preventing end users from accessing sites within keywords. So we can block sites containing keywords within the site name, we can block sites containing keywords within the full URL, and we can also block sites containing keywords within page content. Further ensuring that end users do not digress if they arrive at a particular website by clicking on certain keywords. On the flip side of that coin, we can also exclude sites containing keywords in the full URL, so legitimate words like Essex, Wessex, Scunthorpe, etc. Last but not least, on the web access policy page, we have an extract policy link, and this is simply allowing administrators to extract their web policies into an Excel spreadsheet, which they can then manipulate and provide back to the support team at OmniQuad to upload into the solution. And that covers off the web access policy. If I go back to the account menu, just the opposite side of the web access policy, we have the threat filter policy. The threat filter policy retains policies for download of categories, extension types. It also allows you to notify OmniQuad of which file types OmniQuad should be scanning for back-end for viruses. With regards to the actual policy itself, the SLAs when it comes to virus, malware and spyware are very high indeed, 100% across the board on virus, malware and spyware. OmniQuad also ties into the back end of Google for safe search, safe browsing. So the minute Google identify any website to contain any malware or spyware, those websites are automatically stripped out of the results that will be displayed within Surfwall Remote. So if I click on the threat filter policy here, we'll begin to see a number of links. If I start on the right hand side, there's a link there for download categories which are blocked. And this again allowing administrators to select which users can download from these categories. And again, all these categories are running on a traffic light system. So the red ones are blocked, the green ones are allowed, yellow ones for particular users. We can select from the Active Directory the users that can download from these categories. We have a strict search feature in the top right hand corner there, and the strict search feature allowing you to then restrict strict search on Google, Yahoo and Bing. So anybody now using any of these search engines to search for any kind of content, i.e. drugs, offensive content, weapons, sexual content, will simply have no results displayed within the results. And the strict search filter is also active within the download extension types that you may wish to block. So again, as an example here, we can prevent the download of zip files, only allowing access to particular users. And once again, the strict search functionality applies there. On the main page for threat filter policy, we have the virus scanning link, and this is allowing administrators to then notify OmniQuad of which files they should be scanning for viruses backend, and we can restrict the scans based on the size of the file types themselves as well. So that's the threat filter policy. Once again, clicking back to the account menu, just below the web access policy, we have a manage user groups and organizational units link here, and this is simply allowing administrators to create a separate directory in Surfwall Remote on which they can base their web filtering policies on. You can see the on-site Active Directory replicating here, allowing you to select from org units, domain users, security groups, and again simply being able to create a separate directory in Surfwall Remote which has no bearing on the on-site directory. Clicking back to the main policy page again, on the home page, we have a end user policy link, and this again, as an administrator, is allowing you to have visibility on which web filtering policies have been applied to any member within the AD. And as an example here, if I simply click on the drop down and select the first individual, Andrew, This will now show me, of the 87 different categories, the categories that Andrew has access to. And as we scroll down, we'll see all the 87 different policies, as well as the allowed and blocked websites. And right down at the bottom of the page, we'll have the exclusively allowed websites, as well as the blocked sites. So if an end user ever calls up the administrators and complains about issues of accessing a website, the administrator can simply come here, either select the individual and see which policies that are being applied, or even by typing in the actual website itself, it will show if access is granted to that individual, if so, why, if it's blocked, why, and it will give the answers within search results. So that's the end user policy view. Edit your network IP address is self-explanatory. Simply allow you to edit your IP addresses for web filtering traffic. We have a link for a request for recategorization. This simply allows you to request recategorization of a URL which has been incorrectly categorized by OmniQuad. Login is a different user, self-explanatory. Manage logins allows you to add and remove login permissions on the account. So who can log in, what's visible to them the moment they do, and what, if anything, they can make changes to. Contact details, again, self-explanatory. These are the details of the individual that OmniQuad will contact in case of any updates and upgrades, etc. And then last but not least, we have the reports dashboard. And this is a reporting tool in real time, showing you which of your users are currently online, by number of sessions, by time, by bandwidth, etc. We can set up reoccurring reports here to be sent out weekly, monthly or quarterly to multiple administrators. And as this window starts populating information, I'm just going to start talking through some of the functionality within the reports that we can see here. We can create custom dashboards, so you can allow certain managers to log in and run reports only relevant on the individuals that they're responsible for. So as an example, a sales manager can log in and run web filtering reports purely on the sales team. The same for the marketing manager, the IT manager, HR manager, etc. So we can simply select custom dashboards and create those from the web interface here. You can see there's a link there to subscribe to a daily threat filter report straight away. And if I start on the right hand side with the user online window, you can see the users here. It's currently displaying the information by the number of sessions. However, if I click on the clock, this will give me the information by time. And if I click on the little globe icon, this will give me information by bandwidth. You can see here the number of users and the number of sessions they've been having throughout the day. If I scroll down, we have a window for top sites. Again, the information is available by user, session time, or by bandwidth. And some of the functionality here in the top right hand corner of that window allows you to request reoccurring reports simply by clicking on the email envelope icon. Further down, top categories end users are viewing. Again, user, session time and bandwidth we can select by and request a reoccurring report. Further down we have a blocked sites window. So this is showing you which of your users are attempting to access the blocked websites, and every time the individual attempts to access the site which is blocked, a log will be kept here. And some of the added functionality that you have as an administrator is if I run my mouse over the user, another window is populated, allowing me to exclude this site just for this individual. I can exclude this site for the security group the individual belongs to, or I can exclude it for everybody within the network. I can simply set up a smart group, and you recall the policies we looked at earlier where the smart groups were replicating. This will then simply prompt me as to which smart group I should apply this individual to. We have a time-based policies window, so this will show me which of the users that have been set up on time-based policies have exceeded their policies, and we can request a further extension if needs be. We have a top networks window. This is showing me how many networks are running through the solution by time and bandwidth. So if I have multiple sites running through Surfwall Remote, I can run reports based on the time and bandwidth those sites are taking up. On the left hand side of the page, the business productivity profiler now is replicating, so you can see the profiler here showing you the users and the categories, business, non-business and neutral, and how those are reflecting and replicating here. We have a search window allowing you to run reports on keywords that end users are using to search for content on Google, Yahoo and Bing. And again, we can request these reports. We have a live window showing you which of the users are currently online and the websites that they're looking at, and this is in real time. We have a number of overview charts. So we have an overview chart by user. I can simply select a user by typing in the domain, and selecting from the drop down the individual that I wish to run the report on, either by time or by bandwidth, and this can be sent to me as a reoccurring report. The chart above allows me to run a report based on users, session time and bandwidth, and it's currently displaying the number of users that are going on the internet throughout the various hours of the day. And again, I can request a reoccurring report to be sent to me simply by clicking on any of the email envelopes in the top right hand corners of those windows. Last but not least, we have a quick search window, and this is allowing me to now run a report based on a user, a domain, a group, categories, date range, or even URLs. So I can simply type in a URL of a website, hit the query, and this will then show me the URLs that have been displayed or the users have been going to. Had you clicked on any of the email envelopes within any of these windows reporting category, site, online users, we have a Manage Reports View Subscriptions link in the top left-hand corner rather. And if I click on the subscription link, this will then allow me to have visibility on which reoccurring reports I've subscribed to. You can see here we've got a number of reports. We can add additional email addresses simply by putting in a comma and putting in the email address of the individuals to receive the report. We can change the report type, so the file type the report is sent out in, so HTML, PDF, XLS, RTF, and obviously the frequency of the report as well, monthly, daily or weekly. We can remove the report also if we no longer require it. So that's giving you visibility on which recurring reports the administrators subscribe to within Surfwall Remote. If I click back to the main reports dashboard, by selecting a user again and hitting query, we can then have visibility on the URLs, the categories I should say, the end users have been going to, the URLs that are being viewed within those categories, and the pages that have been viewed once they arrived at a URL. And all this information is available for you to print off in raw data format. And we can simply do that by clicking on the advanced search link, and once we click on the advanced search link and select the parameters there for user, we can then run the report and print that report off or save it to a number of different file types. So that's the reporting functionality and the search functionality within the reports dashboard. Coming back to the account menu, that really sums up the functionality within Surfwall Remote. We've taken a look at the web access policy, the threat filter policy and the reports dashboard. I believe these to be really the three key areas of the solution. There are some other functionalities such as the end user policy view that can be very useful as well.